Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframing Mindset podcast. My name is Constant Brooks. I know this episode we're going to talk about transportation because this is very important, because you know the way I grew up, this is one thing I know that is very important. I know one thing I did not in my 9 to 5 work that I'm doing now is it's really convenient. Having the staff bus, you just basically just go there and just carry where you want to go. And what happened also was that at my university, they usually have the university bus as well, the student bus as well, where you just in my years there, what happened was that you could just take the bus. Like if the time comes, you can just take the bus and you just go and it carries you back to your dorm. And but then that that was when it was really convenient because what happened was that when I usually leave the lab to walk to my dorm, it's usually be a long walk. Or sometimes it be at my faculty, it'd be a long walk to go to my dorm. So having the staff bus, usually be the university bus usually be very convenient. So so transportation is really important in getting the person, especially what I realize on this work I'm doing night shift. So if you're going to actually do stuff like that, you have to be able to actually get the person at some convenience place safely. So that transportation is really important. You know, and yes, that's a lot of expenses. So that's basically not really. They're just expenses and maintaining stuff. So it just to mention things that are important with transportation, getting your staff home safely. That is really convenient. So that and more quickly than they would if they did not have the bus, so that they could actually get go home and get more rest, do more home stuff, so that do more home stuff, so that when they're at the work, they are more productive and making more progress outside of their work life. Yes, because transportation is one of those other things that basically increase your efficiency when you come to the work. You'll be like, yo, this having know that okay, there's a bus I could depend on that depend on that I just basically just get that save me a lot of time instead of me just if you don't have a car, maybe you're taking this job on your car grind. Because and I'm doing this job now, I'm kind of on the car grind as well. This work won't just make me able to buy my dream car. So I don't really rely on it like that. But what it does is just basically get me closer to certain goals, get closer to certain goals that I need, and get me start up to where I could actually make the jump to actually go after the dream car. But is a that's why you have to look at it. Where if you look at it and be like, oh yeah, this time I'm gonna buy my dream car. No, no. And it's funny enough. What happened was that in one of the meetings when I was going to the training. People were one of the person that was doing the work, like one of the supervisors. They talk about doing this work. You're gonna get a dream job, great dream car, and well, not dream car, but getting a car and house and stuff like that. But like when I'm doing the work, we're like, nah, nah. If you really work relying on a 9 to 5 to get your house or car, bro, you're going to be working forever, bro. You're going to be working forever and it's stressful. So what I would suggest is in the 9 to 5 world is that you just basically the work is just for you to actually get a view as an employee, get paid, and then learn the skills that you want to implement in something for yourself. Because most times, when I just started the working world, all my jobs. So I would so I would basically I would say I would after university I would be officially or unofficially in three jobs. So this recent job that I'm in now would be my most relevant one. And none of them are in my field. None of them are in my field. And but all of them brought me lessons. And the thing about it is that I was not never really passionate about any of them. But what happened was that I get the money and they were help me start to it, the money gave me a lifestyle, introduced me to a different lifestyle. And I will see it and be like, oh yes, I want to go back there again and stuff like that. So that's basically what the 9 to 5 give you. It introduce you to a higher lifestyle, and what you should do now is just basically find a way to say, okay, this 9 to 5 is just a start for you to go there. And the thing about it is that you're going there and be like, oh yes, I'm going there and just gonna work to actually no. You go there and make the company better. Make that company better, bro. You make that company better, then boom, you get what you came for, and then you get paid, and then when you're ready to leave, the reputation you leave the company will bring you further into your next place, because it'll be like, yo, you can rely on this person. And that's all basically the formula that I'm using now. I needed to get my foot into the workplace. I got myself there now, and what I was doing was put in the work to actually just build up my reputation there and see how far I could go, so that I could build a reputation and say, okay, if I'm needed, when I put on my resume that okay, I did this work for X months, that's another plus and skills that I learned there. Yeah. So what I say is that you have to, like I said, if you're going to a 9 to 5 for the money, it's a losing formula. You have to really go in there for something else, and the money is just for you to fuel other stuff. And you don't go in there looking at, oh yes, I'm gonna bang on this $1 million stuff like that. Because the next thing again, when I was back before I started my grind, like when I was left university and broke as a joke, and I was watching YouTube, and what I usually watch was like Google employees, and be like, yo, this Google employees, they were making so much money. They were making so much money per year and stuff like that. But what happens is that they have a lot of problems, taxes and stuff like that. Stuff that I'm getting introduced to now, and there was a lot of problems. But and what happened was they lived in a high tax state and stuff like that. So it's like, the stereotypical more money more problem is true. It's true. And what happened, you realize that they were making a lot more money doing the 9 to 5, and you think that, oh yes, Google is a dream job, but most when you actually look at it and we're like, yeah, that really isn't the dream. It's a dream job, yes, but when you've been there for, it's like, yeah, 9 to 5 is no matter what, 9 to 5 is a 9 to 5. If a job is a job, I don't really going to be loving that forever. So that's the thing. And what happened was that you could see the burnout of after a while of the person, because people, the YouTuber that I usually watch, they eventually left the company and started their own thing and stuff like that. So you know, I said. I said the 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 world is for you to just introduce yourself as an employee, build your reputation, get your all the lessons that you need so you can start something else for your own. Start something solid. Start something solid. You don't have to be a business. You don't have to be going there saying, okay, I'm gonna make a startup. No. It could be the thing to fund a little small thing for yourself that you can sustain you. And then when you find something solid, what I say is that, so basically, what I learned is that the 9 to 5 work is just for you to build a reputation in the working world. That's what you're going to do. You know. So with that mind, that's the mindset. That's the thing I really wish I kind of knew back then. You're going to the 9 to 5 working world to build your reputation. You know, as somebody reputable. So when you go into every work, you just try to build a reputation. You don't over try. Just work on getting the ability to do that, so that over time you can be like, okay, I'm a reputable person. They can recommend you to go there and stuff like that. Like for example, what this work actually does is that being there for 6 months, it gave me some confidence that I could actually go into any industry and actually go through the training process and actually become a competent employee in any industry. That's what going through this because actually this company works on one of my weakest areas, and I hated the process, but I went through basically 7 months of it. So it kind of gave me some confidence that I could actually go in any industry and go through the training phase and actually last longer than most people in that industry. That's basically what this um work kind of did. And those are intangible stuff that are valuable to you. That okay, knowing that you can go through 7 months and last more than any person in the other industry that can say, okay, good having that on your resume, know that okay, I can actually go anyway. I know that okay, I can get my if I can get myself into the right doors now, I can actually get the most out of these works that I'm going to know. So I can actually say, okay, boom, I want to do this work to get some skills and communication, go there for a year, and boom, do well, reach as far as can in the company and be like, okay, all right, time I want to upgrade my career now. So I want to go here now to be a banker, and then boom, you have 1 year experience, and then boom, you're at a banker with impeccable communication, and you be like one of those swift negotiators and bankers because they actually, take your time to go to the right place first and get the most of what the right work first and stuff like that. So that's basically it. But yeah, back to the topic at hand, transportation really important in the business of science or any business, Yes, and the more convenient it is, the more convenient how close you can get your staff to their home, the better. That's that's how I see it. So that being said, thank you for listening and look forward for our next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
9 to 5 journey. And now what happening is that we're getting sorry for the rain in the background. If you're hearing it, because we're in the rain season, you know, we have to just appreciate the rain season when we have it because when we don't have it, it's a mess. It's a mess. But as I said, this week 24, we are being grouped. What happened was there was a change again where I'm still in the same seat, same area that I was. So that is kind of stabilized and such. But what happened was that we're kind of grouped differently now. So I'm not with the original team per se. We're on the same team in on the where the supervisor is still the same person that oversees our team. But what happens now is that the team is being grouped. What happened was it grouped by surveys, by how we are rated